At Crimson, Diane arrives to see Nina. Nina tells Diane that she's going to give her what she wants. Nina looks through the contracts and is about to sign when Drew barges in. Drew tells Diane that he needs to speak to Nina, so Diane suggests to her that they can pick this up tomorrow. Nina says Drew can wait until they finish their business and signs the papers. She hands them to Diane, who departs with them after they shake hands. Drew asks what that was about. Nina says her current situation wasn't working, so she made some changes. He hopes she's not hatching a new revenge scheme. She calls him paranoid and informs him she sold her half of the Metro Court to Jason, who they both know will give it to Carly. She says this brings her one step closer to getting Sonny back. Drew asks how this gets her back with Sonny. Nina was hoping Sonny would appreciate her giving up her stake in the hotel so his best friend could have it. Drew wishes her luck, and she asks why he came to see her in the first place. He wanted the contact info of the wellness reporter she talked to for Crimson. He leaves and Nina's assistant comes in. Nina asks her to let her know when Olivia arrives to the hotel, as they have important business to discuss. Jason works out in a tank top his apartment above Bobby's when Carly arrives to ask for help. She notices his full arm sleeve tattoo and asks about it. He explains he got it a year ago. She says she would have bet that he'd never get a tattoo. She asks to look at it and asks why he did it. Jason explains he was alone. He knows he's been alone before, but this time was different, as he knew he couldn't come home. He wanted something that was his, something that he wasn't forced to leave behind. He says as he got it done, he thought about home, his kids, Sam and Elizabeth, and Monica. Then he let himself think about her. However, he knew she'd be okay, as she's the most resilient person he knows. Carly says he's wrong. When she was happy, she couldn't share it with him, and when she was sad, he couldn't fix it for her. However, she says he was always with her, and she would always think about what Jason would do when she was faced with a tough situation. She tells him that she likes the tattoo, and it looks good on him. Jason asks why she came to see him, and she explains the situation with the stove and the gas, and can use some help with the guy from the city who is here. He says he'll be right down. Carly and Jason discuss their issues with the city, who says Carly did not reply to their notifications on time, so they can't restore the gas for 3 days. Carly goes off, saying she didn't get them and can sue him and the city. Jason explains they can't run a business without a working stove, and they also understand that sometimes things get lost in the mail, so to speak. The man agrees to try and expedite things and get them back in business by tomorrow. The man leaves, and Jason asks why she needed him for this. She says she needed him to be the good cop to her bad cop. Upstairs, Danny sneaks into Jason's room through a window and looks through his stuff. He spies his father's jacket and puts it on. Back downstairs, Diane arrives and gives Jason the papers announcing he is now the owner of the Metro Court, and he just has to sign it over to Carly. Diane leaves, and Carly tells Jason that he can't give her the Metro Court. She says she lost it herself, so it's on her to get it back. Jason asks if he had been here. Does she think any of this would have happened? Carly whispers, no. He signs the papers and hands them to her. She embraces him in tears. He calls it done deal, and she smiles. Later, Jason returns to his room and finds Danny wearing his leather jacket. At the Quartermain mansion, Lois appears in the kitchen where Brooke Lynn and Olivia are eating. She has a big surprise and reveals Sonny is coming to the wedding. Brooke Lynn assumed he wasn't coming with all he has going on and didn't want to push. Lois says that's what she has her for, to push. Brooke Lynn asks if he'll bring a +1. Lois was about to ask when Ava showed up. She doesn't know what's going on with her, but she seems to be putting roots down there very fast. They pull out the seating chart, and Lois believes Sonny knows not to bring Ava. Olivia has to get to work, but we'll see them tonight at the bachelorette party. Brooke Lynn talks to her mom about Chase's sacrifice for their honeymoon, which she almost ruined if it weren't for Tracy. She reveals the advice Tracy gave her and the talk she had with Chase about money, and they are in a good place now. Lois says this is a good sign that they can openly discuss important things. Lois points out that her daughter never asked about her and her dad and what happened between them. Brooklyn says her dad was always in her life, and they were so good at co-parenting. Lois says Ned was a good man, but they disagreed about money and the Quartermaine.